Hi there, this is Ben Shoga from Skook Music, and this is today's iMusic webinar. Just waiting for the various people to join up. We're going to be looking at the iMusic software. So the most of the webinar will be done as a screen share because the iMusic software is a screen player. So it's software that's based on all the kind of Skoog principles of expressive synthesis, coupled with a simplified playing interface to enable musical creativity, musical play, and inclusion in a wide range of music-making activities. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to email us in or use the Q&A app in the Google Hang software, or you can always message me on the using the message board. So let's go into screen sharing mode, and let's share my screen. There we go. So because iMusic is a whole a piece of software that takes over the whole screen, I won't actually be able to see the Q&A element in the Google Hang, but what I'll do is I'll keep checking back periodically on how that's going. If anyone's got any questions, if you type them up in there, I will check in and just get to them as and when they pop up. So this is iMusic. You can download a free version of the software, free demo version of the software from our website. You can have a look at the links on that, and we can circulate those afterwards. This is the main software environment that has all of the different setup menus around the side, and the software is designed to work via dwell to click. The playing interface is these colored circles in the center, and by moving the cursor into the circles you activate the physical models, and each different set of circles in terms of color represents a different note on a scale. So here we have and you can see as I move into the circle, I start playing, and it gives me a gradient of activation. So it's not just on and off. It can be if I just go straight into the large circle. It's as if I'm blowing hard in the flute that's playing here. Or if I go in from the small, I can get that more expressive shelving of the sound. So essentially that's the core playing interface in the sense of these coloured circles. We do have various different elements in terms of feedback and different modes, but let's just show you how to get started, get set up, and then we'll have a look at how to play it. And first thing to point out would be that there's a little information mode that you can engage, which is this little question mark at the bottom of the screen here. So if I dwell on that, remember software is set up using dwell to click, so it doesn't have to be an eye tracker that you're using. You can use anything that controls the cursor, and by dwelling on any of the buttons or active zones, it will then, after a certain period, click that button as if you've clicked a mouse and enable it. So if I dwell on that, it clicks, activates it. Now this information mode gives you a little description of all the different things that are on the software. You can't actually make any selections when you're in this mode. All you can do is navigate the software and see what's what. So first of all, let's look at navigation. So no questions at the moment. I'll pop that up, okay. Pardon me. So you navigate the different areas of the software using these tabs at the side of the screen. This one takes you to the instrument page where we can choose different instruments. There's a list of the ones available there. In the demo mode, you will find that the instrument selection is limited to just flute and vibes, and also the demo version also limits your ability to choose scales, but we'll get back to that. Back to the playing area. Up here is where I can view recordings that I've made. Navigate back. And down here has the settings for connecting a physical Skoog and interfacing that with the eyegaze or iMusic software, and so I can adjust things there. You don't need a physical Skoog for this software to work. This software is an independent piece of software, but it does interact with a physical Skoog if you want it to. So let's have a look. The main tabs in terms of setup are here. So this is the audio volume one. So if we click that, you can see it has up and down for volume, on and off for volume, and a recording button. Just pop that back down. This menu here, this tab, and it pops out, gives me all the different things I can change in reference to the audio output. And that's how I set up my sound card. This FX tab gives me some different effects I can add to the sounds. These are limited again in the demo version. This allows me to set the notes for the playing interface. And this one allows me to edit elements of the user setup. First thing to do though is let's take it out of the information mode and let's turn the sound on. When the software starts up, the sound is always off by default. So you need to hover over this little bit and make sure the button looks like it's depressed. Not feeling down, but pressed in. So and I'm going to turn the volume up. Anything that has, in the software that has a slider type interface, the buttons will work with a repeat click. If you just dwell on it enough, it will repeat. You can see there, up and down. You can adjust the repeat time settings to get to how you want them set up. Then those repeat time settings won't affect the general settings of your eyegaze interface if you're using something like a head tracker and eye tracker to interact with your computer. So we've turned the sound on, and I've actually got sound in this. Hopefully you can hear that. Turn it up a bit. There we go. Hopefully that's going to come through on the microphone. The other thing that I will show you first is, so if you try the software, if you bought it, or if you've downloaded the demo version, you've turned on the sound over here, and that's happening. What happens if you're not getting sound? So when you activate the circles, if there isn't any kind of acoustic signal, the first thing to do though is to check that you're getting a signal here. If there's a signal there, then you've got sound. But if you're not getting a signal there, then you need to adjust the audio settings. Now there's different things you can do in terms of choosing different drivers, different output devices. Vector size and single vector size usually should stay where they are in thread priority. You want as little latency as possible, obviously. And the thing to do is when you download the software, you will receive a PDF guide as to how to adjust these settings to best suit your setup. So if you go through those options that are sent through on the PDF, then that will show you how to set it up best for your machine, and all the different adjustments can be made here. And once you have it, and once it's making sound successfully, then you can save those settings by dwelling on the save settings, and you'll have sound. So first things first, let's have a look at choosing an instrument. So here we go. At the moment it's on flute, and if I choose a different instrument, say vibes, you can see down here the actual type that tells you what you've selected shows the instrument. Navigate back, and now we should have a vibraphone. There we go. So you can see it's very simple. So really it's an element of choosing an instrument sound and then assigning some notes to that sound. Now in the full software you've got all kinds of adjustment in terms of scale modes, different types of preset, change to tonic, different octaves, quick cycle of fifths. So you have a lot of adjustment there, but I'm going to leave it set in the standard major preset, and I'm going to leave it in C major. There. Okay, because that's the scale that you have set when it's in the demo mode. So C major there. Now let's add some effects to the sound. So these can make the sound playing much more interesting. Put a bit of delay on, and let's adjust the reverb. And let's have a phaser. Maybe some fuzz. Let's delay it. Delay off maybe. bass. I quite like that. That's quite good. I'm going to change back to the flute. There we go. Let's see how that sounds. Sounds quite nice. Now, another thing to point out is that on certain machines you may find that there's a bit of a delay or a bit of latency when interacting with the playing interface. We have a guided access mode as well. So once you've got it set up for yourself or for the user, if you press H on the keyboard, as I'm going to do now, this hides all of the menus. So this means, again, so that you can focus on the playing behavior. And it also really improves the response and the responsiveness on certain Windows machines that are perhaps maybe having issues with the presentation. So it's a really, if you are playing it and you think, oh, it's not really responding correctly, make sure you try it with the guided access mode. And it's just a toggle operation. So H to come out of it, H to go back in, H to come out of it, H to come back in. And this. And also, if you're using the iiMusic software on a tablet device, or something like a Tap-It, then the guide access is very good again, because it means that there aren't any of the menus on the side of the screen that that people can select and interfere with, and you can concentrate on making music. So how would we use this to make music? Well, obviously, you simply select the sound that you want, and then you tune it so that you can play with a piece of music or play with other people. So let's have a look at that. As an example, I'm going to come out of the software and I'm going to go to the Skoog Music website. Let's do this. And I'm going to have a look at the resources there. So that you can use a lot of the resources that are for the tactile Skoog will work because it's a similar setup. It's a pentatonic tunable interface or instrument. And I seem to have a bit of a strange bug on there. Let's get rid of that. Now, let's look for a tune that's in C major, and that means we'll be able to play with that. Let's have a look. C major. There we go. Private Eyes. That'll do. So if I click this, all kinds of strange links opening up, then it tells me that if I select the C major pentatonic scale, then I will be able to improvise and play along. So if I select the YouTube link there, it will open up the Hall & Oates classic, Private Eyes, and we'll be able to play that. So I'll be able to play along with that song with my iiMusic software. Why is it not? There we go, YouTube, that's what I want. Oh, let's see if we can, it seems to, that link seems to not be operating, so let's try a different one. Private Eyes, Hall & Oates. Let's try that. Search, please. There we go. Hall & Oates, Private Eyes. There we are. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit so you can hear me playing along. Now if I go back to iiMusic now, go into the guided access mode. And it's as simple as that, really. Let's, I hate to stop the boys whilst they're laying it down like that, but we don't really need too much more of that. But But I think that illustrates just how easy and quickly you can start making music and playing with other music. Obviously, you doesn't have to be playing along with things. You can play it as an instrument along with other musicians. And so, any teachers that are working with an inclusive kind of group approach, then any of your students who use eyegaze technology would be able to then contribute and take part in group music making activities using this software. It's perfect for that. The synthesis is high quality, and if you have some good speakers, you'll get some really beautiful orchestral sounds. And that is iiMusic. So check it out. If you haven't done already, please do download the free demo version so you can see how it might work for you. And if you've got any questions, just email the team at skoogmusic.com and we'll be happy to help. You can purchase iiMusic in the States. You can go to the Where to Buy page on our website, Westminster Technologies, or a couple of other people you can get it from, Inclusive Technology in UK. And also any feedback on additional features and functions you'd like to see in iiMusic, do let the team know. Support at skoogmusic.com. I'm Ben. It's been a pleasure. I'll speak to you soon.